like I'm really behind, but really, I have been taking these very valuable targets. And to be honest, you can actually just tell from the levels. I'm still 2 levels higher than Skarner. So yeah, as you can see, Nunu doesn't do too much damage. Um, but it's okay because Nunu is not meant to do a lot of damage. He's meant to off tank and provide. He's more like a support in the jungler, which is why you want high damage teammates. Like you probably don't want a Galio mid or a low damage top lane when you're playing Nunu. So here I almost die, but here yeah, as you can see, like just level 2, I heal 180. So I healed 180, and I'm not sure, I might have dropped lower than that, but yeah, you can see how I came really close to dying. Consume heals a ton of life, and it's really low, like really low cooldown, a lot lower than Soraka's. Yep. So here I am. We're using Blood Boil to push the lane. Nivea's almost out of mana, so yeah, she used the last of her mana. We can now push. So yeah, when you deny, especially like heavy AOE mids, you can actually you can push down turrets pretty easily. So I guess you could say that is the counter to Nivea. Just starve her of mana and she won't be able to defend for long. Okay, so here I was gonna help Rumble, but turns out he did quite well on his own, so I did not need to help him at all. So I blood boil him through the wall. They know I'm here. They probably won't want to mess with him, even though he's low health. And I'm low health as well. I don't really want to engage on anyone. So yeah, Rumble's helping me push the lane so that they have to kill a wave and then check blue if they come from top lane. And you can see how fast Nunu actually takes these big buffs. With a low cooldown nuke and even just his auto attacks, yeah, you can do a ton of damage. So I was actually considering, I think here, I was considering using my ulti in the bush, but I'm way too low. I would have definitely died, and I would have just given him back his blue buff, which I do not want to do. Yep, so I have tons of money. You don't, especially with junglers. Junglers are supposed to have very, very little money. But the thing is, once you have your 2 gold items, you don't really have to go back for a while because you are maximizing your farm regardless. I just don't want to fall too behind in items, especially because as we can see, people are starting to get some mid game items going on here. Oops. Okay, so looks like Skarner took my red, so he's probably nearby. You should always watch for that. So if you see a buff missing, it is likely, very likely, that he's actually very nearby. So you should alert your teammates. So yeah, you see Skarner probably took my red. Oh, he actually doesn't have red buff. I'm not quite certain what happened, but yeah. But regardless, you can tell if a jungler's nearby depending on what creeps you're missing. So yeah, you don't really want to be alone as Nunu, especially when it's approaching like late mid game or late game, because you don't really do a lot of damage on your own. Like Blood Boil is such a great buff for your allies. It's like a free buff for your allies, and it buffs them by a lot too. It gives them movement speed and everything. So yeah, okay, so here I'm actually telling Ashe to camp red, because I know they will check for their red, because they also want to secure their own buffs. You would think they want to secure their own buffs. I've had games where I camp a buff and they just don't show up for a long time. So just because they aren't like securing their buffs, I just overestimate them. Yep. So this is the kind of plays you can make with Nunu. You hide in bushes and you just punish them for face checking. Even their own bushes, like it would seem safe. This is their own jungle. There should not be any problems. And I did pink ward this, so I did know that there was no way he could see us. Okay, so yep, this is an easy Baron. Especially with Nunu. At this point, I do 1,300 damage just with Smite and Consume. So there's absolutely no way they can steal it. And okay, so they end up surrendering. So I hope I showed that even Nunu can perform very well in games. He can dominate just as hard as any other jungler.